And Radio Jamaica News has been informed that investigators have launched a search for a bank employee who allegedly made off with more than $35 million from a St. Anne-based financial institution. It is understood that the employee loaded the cash into a bag and walked out of the institution after telling her supervisors that she was heading for lunch. When she failed to return from lunch, a probe by the bank revealed that millions of dollars was missing from its vault. It was later discovered that the bank employee had fled the island after boarding a flight to Canada.
People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. People, did you just hear what I heard on that voice note? An employee decided that she was going to rob the bank without any sorts of tool. She was not going to use the latest trend, white collar, where they wire transfer money to their friends or their accomplices. She decided, because of the trust and the access that she has to the bank, she was going to walk out with $35 million. Just walk out just like that. Told her supervisor she is going for lunch. People, this would be an extended lunch. This would be an everlasting lunch. She eat them food. Now person are going to ask, how can somebody actually leave out the bank with $35 million in her bag without anybody being suspicious? People, that is when you have that face card, that uptown, that trust, where people might think, maybe she's going to the gym, she's going to work out, get her summer body right. Maybe she was going to pack up that money and leave with it in her bag, exit through the back door, meaning the real back door. So we have to ask the question, how does somebody move 35 million? The answer is quite simple. Pretty much, you know those stocks that you have, two of those stocks make $1 million. So therefore, 35 million, you're going to have 70 stocks. Pack up in a little duffel bag, you can move it very, very easily. Now, in my opinion, when we see that lady left the bank with $35 million or so, in my opinion, if I was a betting man, I would say that this lady already wire transferred millions of dollars to family member or friends that are a part of her conspiracy. She already planned it out. She told herself that, listen, when I am leaving, I am going to leave a very bad impression for that bank. I am going to leave with a bang. Not only am I going to make sure that when they check the books, try balance the book, it won't be balanced, it will be off. I am going to leave with a bang, meaning that I am going to transfer some funds and then I am going to take some physical, cold, hard cash. She's going to look at it that, listen, I am already in too deep. I am already going to be labeled as a criminal. So therefore, why not just go out with money from all sorts of sources, meaning wire transfer, meaning physical bills, $5,000 bills in a whole bunch of stocks, equivalents of $35 million or more, plus what she took throughout some sorts of transfer. This lady already tell herself, say, listen, me not really care when nobody want to say. Me not really care about any sorts of reputation. She was under some sorts of financial pressure. All of us are under financial pressure. However, this lady decided that she was going to not only bend, she was going to break the bank. I am assuming that this lady was making for some sorts of college fund for her family. She was making arrangement for some sorts of house. I am assuming that she was getting all sorts of pressure from the son, from the husband, from whomever. Mama, you know, say, courts keep a call, the husband a call, you know, say, the bank say, them not get no payment for the mortgage, them not get no payment for the car. What are you going to do? The pressure became so unbearable that she broke. And people, I am not justifying her action, but just I tell you, based on what I know when I psychoanalyze these people, they do not care anymore. I told you, a lot of these people, they are living above their means. A lot of these people, they are trying to keep up with the Jones. And that is what happens when people are spending more than they earn. They are deeply in debt. So this lady knew that she's not only in debt, she's deep in thieving. She decided that she was going to swindle some money through the orthodox way, wire transfer, and then leave. Why leave the bank empty-handed when you could put $35 million in a bag? Jump on a jet plane, head over to Canada. Sit down, relax in some sort of expensive hotel and think, strategize what is going to be your next move. This lady took a sacrifice for the team, meaning that the family. She transferred money when the audit is all said and done, and she also took physical $35 million cash. She knows she pay off for her kids' college fund. She knows whatever money she took, she can buy a house. She can finish pay off her bills. She goes to Canada and she thinks about, strategize what she is going to do. After she made that decision, if she decides that she is going to run, this is a big world, however, the world is small. More than likely, she's going to get extradited back to Jamaica. More than likely, she will have to face the music. However, she is going to have a couple of millions put aside, set aside for some sort of top lawyer. She is going to go to court and she is going to get bail because she has that Uptown face card membership has its privilege. Her lawyer will delay the case for about a decade or so. They are going to go back and forth to courts, and at the end of the day, she is probably going to get a slap on the wrist. She is going to get minimum time, if any sorts of time at all. So therefore, when she looks at the pros and the cons, if I did not do this, how much years would it take me to accomplish whatever goals that this money can do that I have stolen? She weighed it. People do not care no longer about their reputation, their trust that the public put in them. They are always looking out for self. They are always living above their means. So therefore, whenever you live above your means, living life on the edge, sometimes you are going to get slipped over the edge. You have to blame yourself. Now people, I don't know if you remember when this disturbing trend all started. I said to you, if you check all of these banks, these financial institutions, I am sure that you are going to have a couple of cases. If the auditors go in, forensic tests on most of the accounts and most of the employees there, you will find that this is not an isolated incident? And is it coincidental that the same day when she stole this money, the 4 employees from Sagicor, the Moulton sisters and 2 others, just went to court, just got bail? It is said that one of the Moulton, who holds a Canadian passport, had to surrender her passport. This lady went to Canada. People, me don't know what is going on with Canada, but it seems as if everybody, not everybody, people from these financial institutions are send some sorts of money go to Canada. Something sweet them in a Canada. However, whatever is sweeting them in Canada, I go sour them in a Jamaica. People, me don't know where I go on, but this trend is very disturbing. The trend have a little twist and turn. Not only are they swindling the money, transferring the money, now they are just walking out, go to work in them uniform, bring some sorts of gym bag, some sorts of duffel bag, some sorts of JanSport, and transport the money out. Point blank and period. So people, that was the uptown thieving trend. There's a next very disturbing trend that is happening in Jamaica. And it seems as if the criminals, them not really care who you are, what type of position, if you are poor or if you are civilian. I am speaking about an incident that occurred in a place called Union Garden Square yesterday at about 7 something. A man, 30-year-old, his name is Dwight McFarlane. Him and a popo that is assigned to Huntsby Popo Station were standing at a car wash. A vehicle drove up. Some men alighted from the vehicle. Spray up the place. After the smoke cleared, 2 people got hit up. Mr. Dwight McFarlane, he was taken to the place of recovery. However, too late was his call. He was sent to the afterlife. The officer was also hit in the abdomen. He was taken to the place of recovery. He is okay right now as we speak. Now people, don't you realize, don't know if this man was in any sort of uniform, don't know who was the target, don't know if this was coincidence, but it seems more than coincidental. And I am going to show you that this trend and why this trend is very disturbing, and that even with the implementation of the new Firearm Act, these people, them not care. Not only are they trying to run and hide, and whichever way that they can get away, even if they have to take out the pawpaw, they are also ATTACKING, the pawpaw, without any sorts of regards, without any sorts of care. I am going to give you a couple of examples that occurred lately. In Grand Spen, the pawpaw were doing some sorts of routine traffic stop right in front of the pawpaw station, right at the entrance at the gate. Then pull over a man on a bike. The man wheel and pop off, blaze up some can, dilly-dally. Him get way. In a St. James, pawpaw pull over a man again, and he was a wanted man. Him wheel and pop off, blaze up some can offer the 3 pawpaw, rapid response pawpaw them in the blue ski mask up rate, tall up 9mm. He would later take himself or his friends, took him to the Falmouth Hospital, them hold on upon him. Him was a wanted man. In a seafort that is in St. Thomas, a district constable was cornered up. And then fast forward, less than 24 hours ago in Union Garden Square, an officer and a next man get pie up. People, this is more than coincidental. So therefore, the pawpaw, you've gotten several warnings. You cannot operate like you normally do. You have to be on alert. You have to be on your P's and Q's, or else you're going to lose your head literally, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.